Welcome to the Top Fuel Insider, the California Hot Rod Reunion Edition, happening this weekend, October 17th to the 19th at Auto Club Famoso Raceway in Bakersfield, California. Much of the drama has been, let's say, eviscerated already from the 2014 AA Fuel Dragster season. Tony Bartone has gone coast to coast to coast. I don't even know how to phrase the math on how many hat tricks he's pulled the entire season. 4 events. He has won each Eliminator. He has set top speed and he has set low ET. In fact, he's gone undefeated. Because of that complete and utter domination, he has already been crowned the 2014 Front Engine Top Fuel, Nostalgia Top Fuel, AA Fuel Dragster, Heritage Series Top Fuel Dragster champion. Normally, an undefeated streak would be something to be celebrated, but there's no real joy on the West Coast. The subplot being, of course, that Bartone is considered somewhat of an interloper on what has traditionally been a sort of West Coast or left coast centric scene. Since the early 90s, the AA Fuel Dragster scene really started to catch traction on the West Coast, and Bakersfield being, of course, its home track. There was a moment in the 90s when Paul Romine came out and really set it to the rest of the field. He Indiana-based racer. And then more recently, young Jimmy Young from Wisconsin also kind of put the hurt on folks. Pretty dominant there for a while, but he did lose an occasional round of racing at least. Bartone is from Long Island City, New York, and he puts in a lot of miles to make all these events. And Jim Young also puts in the miles, but people in California think that Wisconsin is like the East Coast, and it's not. Bartone is from the East Coast. He is definitely putting in the long haul and is paying dividends. But I gotta say, the folks out here have kind of had enough, and they want to put a stop to this. So that is ultimately the focal point of competition at the California Hot Rod Reunion Top Fuel this weekend. Can Bartone be stopped, at least as a symbolic gesture that this guy is not completely unnerving and humiliating the California contingent? So that's what the Nitromaniacs will be focusing on this weekend. Can the California hitter cars, the people that really made this scene blossom in the 90s into the 2000s, can they fight back? Can they restore some local pride? And that's the duty of, say, Adam Sorokin and the Champion Speed Shop car out of San Francisco. That's also something Jim Murphy needs to address with his WW2 entry. He was last year's titleist. Sorokin won the reunion last year. Denver Chute's perennial runner-up last year, had some problems at the March meet. Can he represent? He's one of those guys that would like to take an event win, go out in the season on a high note. And so there's a plethora of entries that really want to stick it to Bartone, and if Jim Young gets some on him in the interim, that'd be fine too. Young's number 2 in the points. Can it be a 1 and 2 East Coast, Midwest finish? And, the bronze goes to a California entry? I think both of those guys, Bartone and Young, would really dig that. And I think the California guys want no part of that humiliation. So, This concludes the first installment of the California Hot Rod Reunion edition of the Top Fuel Insider podcast, and we'll see you all out at the track. And yeah, man, hell's a poppin'. There's going to be plenty of noise. There's going to be plenty of parts thrown at this thing, and people are upset. So until then, fire the next pair.